Hey, so I wanted to cover something over the Boston Tea Party. It's not listed really in any of your readings, but it's kind of referenced in some of them. So the Boston Tea Party, or the Tea Party itself, the English people, the Englishmen, they drink a lot of tea, and so some of the same qualities that American have is because of the English influence. So Americans drink a lot of tea. And so Americans are getting taxed on all of these things to help pay for the war that the British started with the French. So the colonists aren't too happy that they have to pay for the war. And if you don't remember, wars are very expensive. Very expensive. And so that's what the colonists are having to kind of figure out. Well, what they do is they don't pay for the tea. What they do is they dodge the person who collects the money. And the British didn't like that, so they cut off their supply at all from all the tea. And so the colonists decided to make their own tea. Well, British obviously wasn't happy about that, and they made them stop. Well, eventually they got back to where the English, they brought the tea, and Samuel Adams was absolutely fed up with what was going on. And so he and everybody else, the Sons of Liberty, they disguised themselves as Native Americans, went into the harbor, and dumped all the tea out into the harbor. That is the Boston Tea Party. It's cool, but some of the graphics are not, they're not very good. So then that brings us to the coercive acts, which are also called the intolerable acts. They're seen they're the same thing, but they're just worded differently. So you have the Quartering Act, you have the Boston Act. So the Quartering Act is basically about how you and your family are going to have to support these redcoats, the British. And that's just, you're supplying them food, sleeping arrangements, everything. Your house is now their house. And the colonists didn't like that. Would you like having some random person stay in your house and tell you what to do? Probably not. And I can guarantee that you guys are not going to agree with that. So this is leading us up to the Revolutionary War. Later on, they have what's called the First Continental Congress, and that kind of lays out how all of the colonists are feeling. They have delegates from all 13 colonies there to discuss what is going to happen, what comes next. And so, well, we're going to get to the next part.